Hey everyone, this is my run on the Redheaded Turk Lufenia, which is Reno's Lost Chapters, and specifically this run will be a no boss turn run featuring Dark Knight Cecile, Serah, and Terra. As always, I will also be including a timestamp and detailed description on the strategy in the video description, so do check it out for more information. Now, to do a full no boss turn run, you need to have a party setup that stacks Brave and HP damage up effects. The reason for that is in this fight when the bosses hit 79, 49, 29%, and when one boss dies before the other, they will trigger sort of like a mist surrounding them. And inside the mist, it's significantly more difficult to deal damage to the bosses because they gain an additional 50% Brave damage resistance and a whopping 70% reduction in HP damage taken. And this is in addition to the standard Lufenia stat boosts that they get at 79 and 49%, which you can imagine makes the bosses extremely tanky. In addition to that, under the effects of the mist, their turns will be enframed and nothing will be able to delay or delete their turns, not even breaks. So in a way, that mechanic is very similar to the Dullahan fight, if you still remember that particular Lufenia stage. So the reason why this party setup works is because the entire party setup stacks quite a lot of HP and Brave damage up effects. So for one thing, Dark Knight Cecile provides a 20% HP damage taken bonus, Serah provides a 20% bonus, and I also have a Kurasame call that provides another 30%, so that's 70% HP damage taken up, which will sort of neutralize or balance off the HP damage taken reduction that they have during mist mode. In addition, if Terra still has a BT aura up, Terra's BT aura also increases HP damage taken up by 20%. So in effect, while her BT aura is up, you are actually dealing a bonus 20% damage net to the bosses inside the mist mode. So at the start of the fight, it's pretty straightforward. I'm using Dark Knight Cecile mainly to delay the bosses with his LD, and I'm using his Valiant Blow to deal some nice damage. My goal here is to try to get as close as possible to 79% before bringing in the Cloud of Darkness. So here one boss is at 81% and the other boss is at 84%. So this is where I bring Cloud of Darkness in, and her BT attack will bring one boss down to 79% and trigger the mist. The goal is to only use Terra's BT once I hit the 79% threshold. And the reason for that is because I want to maximize the number of turns I have under Terra's BT aura effect. So if I wait until 79%, it at least ensures that the full 10 turns from Terra's BT will be taken while the bosses are under mist mode. So a little bit about stacking Brave damage up effects, which is also very important in this fight because the bosses also have a 50% Brave damage resistance while under the effects of the mist. The idea here is to stack the Kurasame's call that provides Ice Elemental weakness with Diabolos summon, because Diabolos summon provides a 50% boost to elemental weakness damage so long as you have taken 20% or more HP damage. And the HP damage is guaranteed because under the effects of the mist, there is also an HP poison effect. So in essence, the bosses actually help you trigger the bonus from Diabolos summon. Just a small note that before I entered burst mode with Terra, I used one of her additional ability. That is done on purpose, mainly so that I take one additional tick of HP poison damage and trigger the blessing from Diabolos summon right before I enter BT mode. So with that 50% Brave damage bonus up, it stacks very nicely with the other debuffs that are present as well. So for example, I also use Jack's LD call that provides a nice defense down and boost to brave damage done. And also, of course, Serah herself has a few nice defense down debuffs in her kit. So this allows me to deal respectable damage even under the effects of the mist. So at this point on, it is pretty straightforward. What I'm doing here is spamming Terra's Meteor and then using her LD to get another 5 more free turns of Meteor after her LD effects are over. You do want to keep an eye on the Cloud of Darkness turn count because obviously after 5 turns the enemy's Brave will reset. Cloud of Darkness will force a break and will push up her turn, giving her an instant turn. And if she takes too many of these, she will end up leaving the field too early. Now, this isn't too much of an issue while Terra's BT aura is up, because at this point Cloud of Darkness still has 3 more friend support turns, and I actually want her to take some turns while Terra's BT aura is up, because then at least her LD will do respectable damage under the effects of the BT aura. So really at this stage of the game, it's really just keeping an eye on the BT aura and then just spamming meteors with Terra evenly across the bosses and refreshing LD once her LD buff is over. Alright, so at this point, Terra's BT aura is at 1 count, and this is her final turn, getting the bonus from the BT aura. So right here, the Cloud of Darkness gets another free turn and brings her friend support turn down to 1. So at this point, because Terra's BT aura is over, this is where I start counting turns. So the idea is to count 5 turns, so Cloud of Darkness turn is 1, and then each time when Terra takes a turn here, I increase the count by 1. And when the count reaches 5, the very next attack you do will trigger a Brave reset on the boss and will trigger a follow-up attack from Cloud of Darkness. So when the count reaches 5, what you want to do is then use Terra's additional ability, and that will reset the Brave without triggering Cloud of Darkness's attack and will allow you to then break the bosses using Terra's Meteor. Alright, so at this point here the count has reached 5, and I know that the Brave will reset the next turn, which is why I use Terra's additional ability here to reset the Brave as such. And this allows me to then break the bosses using Meteor, so that Cloud of Darkness will not break the boss and her friend turn will still remain as such. Right here I start counting again, so this is 1, and I start counting up to 5. From this point on, you really want to use Terra's additional ability each time the count reaches 5, because I really do need Cloud of Darkness to stay in the field. She has taken considerable damage from HP poison, and I will need to heal the entire party, including Cloud of Darkness, with the Ceodore call on Terra before Cloud of Darkness leaves the field. Otherwise, I will have failed the HP requirements in the mission. So for reference, the HP requirement in this fight is less than 5000 HP loss throughout the fight, which is extremely tight. And that's where the Ceodore LD call comes in. The plan that I had coming in is to heal everyone, including Cloud of Darkness, with Ceodore before she leaves. What this means is then you really want Cloud of Darkness to stay as long as possible in the field, because although you can use Dark Knight's Seal to end the fight, if you don't heal Cloud of Darkness before she leaves the field, you would have failed the HP requirement. And if you use the call too early and heal, you will still miss the HP requirement, because right after that, Serah and Terra will start losing HP to the HP poison effect. So you really want to use Ceodore's LD call as late as possible in the fight. Now, why did I pop summon here? I'm down to Terra's last LD, and the reason I pop my summon here instead of later is that if you pop summon and you use an ability that grants multiple free turns, such as Terra's LD here, you sort of create a turn pushback effect. So right here, because Terra's LD has given her 5 free turns and I'm inside summon mode, so the 5 turns that belong to Serah and Cloud of Darkness inside summon is sort of pushed back a bit to after summon, and this actually creates a buffer of turns that I can use to continue on damaging the boss after summon has ended. Now right here is where I use Ceodore base call. The reason for that is I've counted up to 5, so I know the boss's brave will reset soon. If you look at the turn order, Cloud of Darkness actually gets a turn right after Terra. So what I do here is use Ceodore's base call, mainly to reset the brave and allow Cloud of Darkness to break the bosses and get an instant turn. And what happens now is that if you look at the turn order bar, after Cloud of Darkness has used her LD attack here on her free turn, her turn is now 2 turns away from Terra. So the idea is to actually create as many buffer turns as possible. So this is the end of the fight. One boss is at 1%, the other is at 2%. So I feel very comfortable being able to complete the fight with Terra. So here I use Ceodore's LD call to heal everyone to full, and then complete the fight using Terra with minimal HP damage loss. So that's it for this fight. I hope this video has been enjoyable, and as always, if you enjoy the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Lufenia fight. Bye bye.